What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the vlog. We're starting at driving over to Sabir's house. I'll be there in about 3 minutes, and I just wanted to show you guys this before. So this is kind of the play that we've got going on. I'm doing the steering stabilizer, we're doing the level, and we're doing the fender liners and stuff like that today. So this is gonna be a rough country day, but I just wanted to show you guys this is the beginning, and the steering stabilizer might help with this a little bit and also help with the bump steer, obviously, but I just want to see if I can get rid of this a little bit. It's not really saying that it will, but maybe the reviews that I've read, they kind of help with it. So we'll see if that really works, and if it does, then that's a benefit. But if not, at least we have the bump steer all taken care of, and we're just gonna get this whole day going. So now we're at Sabir's house. Oscar did not want to show up, so we don't have our big O over here, but we have everything set up so that way we can make this install nice and easy. We have a table, we have all the tools. I brought some of mine, mixing with Sabir's. Got the truck in here, and it does fit, and we will be fine once it levels, because that's probably about a 1.5 foot gap, and we're only gonna do like a 2-inch level. So this will be just fine. We don't have the wheels and tires to put on yet, so we're gonna do the level first, which I highly suggest, or else you might run into fitment issues. And you might be saying, man, you guys know how to do everything. Bags, whipples, lifts. We don't. We're gonna be learning with you guys. I'm totally new to the truck game, and this is gonna be a totally different style of suspension, but we're gonna knock this out, follow the instructions, and we'll show you what we learn along the way. Change of plans, we read the instructions, which I highly recommend people do, but we have to not use the ramps because we're gonna have to we're gonna have to lift this up a little bit with the jack, and that'll make it easier. But we're measuring right now just to measure the fender heights to see where we're at, and then we can compare after. I do believe my truck is the key, like the stock keys just cranked up, because I looked at it yesterday and it looks pretty vicious. But we're going to just mark this and then keep a measurement of it, and you're gonna see us go through this whole process. Also, it says to keep the car in neutral, which locks your key in there because it's stuck in the tumbler. So you gotta leave your window down just in case, but I turned off all my accessories, so it shouldn't be wasting my battery. Oh yeah, she's leaking.
It just does it on startup, I don't know what it is.
Is it water?
Yeah, it's just water.
Oh, I don't know. That's the beauty of GMT 800s. You don't know what it is, but it starts up every time. That's all you need. Actually, I just realized this. I never introduced this, but this is Benny. So this is Lenny, and then my best friend Sabir has Benny. So he's gonna be doing similar mods, literally probably the same lift kit, a similar wheel and tire setup, but this is his. He's got an 01.
It's just like an overflow hose or something.
Oh, okay.
Like my AC or something.
Yeah, probably.
Because it's open-ended
Well, it
hose.
starts up and it's good to go, so GMT 800 life. But his actually came with the camper shell too, Z71. We literally have matching trucks, and they're gonna be overland builds, and yeah, it's gonna be pretty sick. So this is now the new key compared to the old key, and you can see once you line them up, all it really does is move the tab a little bit further, so that way you get that lift. And then that way, whenever you go ahead and add, see it's lined up there, once you go ahead and add the bolt, it's just pushing further because it's already starting down here. So that's why you can get the lift with just changing your keys. What we've done so far is just do the right side front, but we have not done the rears. And as you can see, it looks pretty tall, but the problem with that is we don't have the whole setup done, so and it's not loaded, so we can't really judge it. But we did take off this shock, which looks like it was a reflex, which is aftermarket, but it might have been the cause of a really poor ride quality, because I noticed before my truck was a lot stiffer than Sabir's, and we have the same truck. So I was like, why is mine so stiff? But if you look at this, I'm gonna go ahead and compress it. It compresses about this much, and that's it. So if that's my whole travel of my truck, no wonder I'm like stiff once it bottoms out at the top or extends out. So let me show you guys that. Whenever you press it, that's all it has. So it does return, but that's as far as it goes. And you can hear it's bottoming out because it has the metal sound that it's extended. So this right here might be a big cause. So here we are on the driver's side. The first step to doing these keys, which we learned on the other side, is you're gonna undo this bolt. And as you can see, mine's pretty dang cranked because it's not even touching my finger when I straighten it across. I think usually they have a little gap hanging down here. So this is actually how you can raise trucks for stock. But with that, it's kind of dangerous because these are not forged keys, I don't believe. And also it's just, you're really risking what you're doing with just stock components. This is literally made to level it, so we're gonna do that. But first, you're gonna just, with nothing else on here, make sure the wheels are up in the air. You're going to take off this bolt, it's threaded into this pin, and then that pin is gonna be what's holding the key. After that, we'll have to reload the key using this tool that we rented from O'Reilly's. And for there, you're gonna re-add pressure, but then take the pin out and then undo all the pressure, and then the key will come out. So that's kind of the step in the process, but we're gonna go for it right now. And I highly recommend you use an impact. Just be careful and not, don't break off your key bolt. And just like that, comes right out. So you can see now it's resting on that pin. We're gonna have to add this back. You'll see a notch for it, which is in here, and then this will notch up into here on the top, and we're gonna add pressure again, and I'll revisit that once we get that set up.
You're good. Key should come out. Just, yeah, if we pick it up on both sides, it'll slide out.
Okay, that's down.
And key's right there.
And the key came off.
I know when you get tired, you need a real man to do it.
Yeah, I'm getting tired.
Oh, there she goes.
All right, just pinch your hand a little bit, but she came out. And it's just that easy. So I saw this on another video, but you can use some anti-seize on this torsion bar to help in the future. So I'm just loading it up with some anti-seize here. And that should help it slide in a little bit easier too. I'm also gonna do that on the threaded bolt that goes into the key, just because I feel like that would be smart to do and require less frustration in the future. So now that we have that in there, we're gonna put the key in, which goes like this. And it should just be kind of flat and line up. And slide it in. And then from there, reload, add the pin, rethread, and just like that.
This guy's cranking up his entire lift with hand. Doesn't even need an impact.
I don't skip forearm day. All right, that's about 4 inches of lift. All right, so now we gotta raise that back up. Just quick test rev. So now that we have this back under tension, we're gonna slide in that safety pin, just like so. Locks in there, and then we're gonna thread it on there. But first, we need to drop this back down, and that pin is gonna hold it now. That's not the way. Just like that. Clean up these threads.
A lot of people skip this step, but all you're doing is saving yourself a future headache.
Yeah, just cleaning up the threads and adding some anti-seize on there so it lubes it up as it goes in.
Man, I love lube.
Good lube on the tip.
Did you show him your axle dump exhaust yet?
Oh yeah, cue that axle dump exhaust bit. Alrighty you guys, so this is gonna be kind of a random clip somewhere, but we are at NorCal Muffler, so we have Sabir's truck in there. Got guy backing up, but we're gonna be working on the truck here. So this is just the stock tip, super ugly. Gonna go ahead and do something like cut shorter and black it out so that way it looks a lot better. And also we have the leveling kit and the wheels and tires coming on real soon. So I just want to throw in this random clip, but I just hate how this looks. And this did not come with a an actual stock muffler. It came with like a dump here that had super bad droning. Freaking hate droning. So we went ahead and I put on an OEM one from Pick and Pull that I got from a junkyard. Threw it on there, but that just looks old and crappy. So we're gonna cut it about there and put on a black tip that's left over from Muffler or from NorCal Muffler, and then we'll just handle it up and it'll look way, way better.
Yeah, you know, don't tell anybody. I know I have a Z06 and a Silverado, but I do love some Roush. How to throw a Roush tip on her, you know?
All right, so now we're gonna do the lower shock mount. Now you gotta be careful because this can drop this. I'm gonna just hope to God and hopefully that bolt stays in there and it doesn't drop, but if it does, be quick to hold this about 85 pounds all with your forearm. So let's see if that works. Leave a comment down below if you think this is gonna work. We're good. Then all of a sudden, oh, God. Is that tight?
You're tightening it.
Oh,
you
yeah,
put,
that's why.
dumbass.
So that's how tight it needs to be. Tighten it down, I'll tell you.
Put all your force in that first turn.
Just got a lifetime warranty on this wrench because you're gonna need it.
Yeah, it's cobalt.
Oh.
Good.
Oh.
You break my wrench?
No.
Sounded like it was spinning. It was like your 4L60 spinning first when I smoked you yesterday.
Yeah, that's definitely what it is.
I wish I had a GoPro.
Spinning in there.
Yeah.
This wrench is sharp. Eventually just stopped.
I don't know, maybe we just got lucky on that side. Maybe we should put a channel lock on the top.
Maybe. Mine must have been cross-threaded because what we had to do was go from the top in the engine bay, right there, and I use an extension, obviously chrome, because that's what you use for impacts, and then the 14 mil deep, and just scent it with Big Bertha. So if that happens to you, I hope to God that you have an impact, because you're gonna need it. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Now we're gonna go ahead and support underneath the rotor, release that stupid shock, add the new one, and then the fronts will be done from there. What's up here to not get stuck is to put this bolt through the bottom and then cut, and then like you kind of aim it and it'll open up because you have this little twine. Do not cut this twine until it's installed, because this is absolutely critical and it keeps the job nice and easy. So, doesn't the bolt go this way, front to back?
Yeah.
Okay. Just like that, and tighten this. Okay, and you're gonna put this in. We do have, whoa, hello. We do have the male side on top to go down, and it goes into the little groove on the stock, just like that. Have it aimed up.
You know what's crazy? I feel like it could go either way, because you can push the male side up.
Yeah, but we're doing it this way, so we'll let you know if that doesn't work. Now that we have the bolt there on the bottom, we're gonna snip off the twine here and make sure you have it aimed up right, so it'll extend out, so I'll let you guys see that. Just like that. That makes it nice and easy, and now it's tight in there. Then you're gonna snip the bottom and pull that out. And boom, now you have this all nice and installed. You're gonna add the washer just like this, and the new nut just like that, and tighten that up until you can't anymore, and that's how you do it. So we just released the jack stands and the jack on the two sides, and we are really high. We might have to uncrank the keys a little bit. We'll have to see how the ride quality is, but this might be cranked keys leveling kit.
That's 3 inches in the front.
Okay, so
when we do the rear, it might bring it down and level it to
a little bit.
2.5. Actually, yeah, it should be right at 2.5.
Yeah, so that might actually work, but I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
3 inch over what we had in the front.
Yeah, I'm loving how that looks.
That's huge. I didn't think it was gonna be that big of a difference, considering your stock keys wording. So mine's gonna go from that to this.
Yeah, so, okay, so here's what you're looking at here, right? Now we go over to Sabir's. That's what he's looking at. And keep in mind, Z71s do have a little bit different suspension, so it's kind of already taller, but that's a pretty massive difference. So we're gonna knock out the rear now, then we're gonna do the steering stabilizer, and then go for a test drive. So we flip the truck around. The front's just looking absolutely insane, but we're now gonna be working on the rear shocks. So working on that, and we took out the rear on the left. Now we're gonna go ahead and do the passenger side, because you gotta take out both rear shocks first, and then from there, all you're really doing is adding a block right here. So that's terrible lighting, but you guys can kind of see these U-bolts, and then this block is all we're gonna change to actually make the height go up with the rear leaf springs. So from there, we're gonna put in new shocks, change this height, and we'll be good to go. Last thing you probably heard was we did the shocks. We undid the shocks. Well, now we undid the U-bolts, which we have the extended U-bolts here, hardware and block. The block has a bit of a taper that goes towards the front of the truck, just to match the angle of the tapered part goes towards the front of the truck. So we're gonna slide that in. You do kind of need to support the axle, so just understand you're gonna need multiple sets of axle or jack stands, and maybe 2 floor jacks if you don't have like a lift that you're doing this on. If you're having a professional do it, they know what to do. But if not, you got us trying to teach you, but the tapered end goes forward. You rear blocks in with the U-bolts, and we torqued them down to 87 foot-pounds. It's a pain to get under there, but you just wanna make sure that's torqued to spec. The biggest tip I can give you guys is have 2 jacks. One's gonna have to like maneuver the body, the other one's gonna have to maneuver the diff, and then also you might need to go on the front of the diff there where the drive shaft meets, like right there, just to mix, or to adjust the pinion angle, which is the tilt of the diff, just because some of these pins don't wanna line up. Also use a little rubber mallet to knock it in, and you'll be able to walk it on there pretty good. We have the entire lift done. Now we're gonna move on to the wheel well liners, which we've already kind of got a head start on. Reading the instructions, it's very simple because I don't have the flares. You remove the inner bolts, which are 2 star bits on mine, put them in there, and then you go ahead and re-bolt it on, and then use the push tabs, which they included right there. And that's pretty much it. So we're gonna knock that out because we already have the wheel off, and you have to have it jacked up and take off the wheel to make it easier on yourself. So we're gonna go ahead and knock that out, and we'll show you guys the finished product.
We did crank it real good, but that is Senkel, right? Like, not like crazy, but definitely higher up in the front.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like, we might need to pull back the keys a little bit.
Yeah. Test drive here after lunch.
I like these rough countries.
Yeah, they're nice, dude. I just installed them. Oh, I haven't showed off that in the vlog.
Yeah,
these are like 3D molded and stuff. I got them in the rear too.
Yeah.
They're nice.
Fit super snug.
Yeah, they're nice.
And they go all the way up, so
For
I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, when you get like mud all over your feet, even if your feet are all the way extended, still covered.
Yeah, those are really nice. Quick test drive here, make sure it's kind of evened out, and then we can adjust the keys if we need to. Looks like right now the front might be a little high, and then we're gonna also see what the steering's like before, and then we're gonna do the steering stabilizer. So we're gonna adjust the keys and stabilize. So far though, it feels basically the same, if not better than my stock setup.
Definitely better, because the shock was blown.
Yeah, it was just so blown. But now it's kind of like boatier and floatier, which is what I want. I'm not trying to have like my bag set up where I'm super stiff and all that. I'm just trying to make it nice and comfortable. So, like good little body roll on the turn here. Yeah, honestly a lot better. We're gonna see what these speed bumps feel like. I hit this little speed bump right here and see if this makes any clunks or noises that we gotta go assess, but shouldn't be too bad. Hitting it at 15 here.
Nah, we're good.
Nope, solid. That was pretty good. And it looks really good. We'll compare it because his truck is completely stock, so we'll be able to compare it like directly. So now we've done the test drive, we're gonna do the installation of the steering stabilizer. It's pretty simple. It's 2 brackets, a little bit of drilling, some hardware, and a new shock absorber. So following their instructions, it looks pretty simple. You have bracket A, bracket B, some bolts to go into it, and then run the shock absorber across. And hopefully that does make a big difference. But yeah, this thing's coming along now, and it's now starting to look a little bit cooler than Grandpa truck. So now we have the steering stabilizer on and everything is connected. So that's pretty much what you have to do there to get this on, is you gotta sort of work through this, because you can see it kind of gets stuck here. But you're just gonna have to work through it to get access to this nut. Maybe if you had a really stubby wrench, you could get it on there, but we have it all located here. We also tested left and right to make sure it's not binding. Now we're gonna put the skid plate back on, put that back through there, and we should be all good to go. Let's see with this U-turn, if it knocks and binds and makes a bunch of noises. No.
Full lock? Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, all good?
For left, yeah.
Feels just a little bit heavier though, but I like it. Nice. That's pretty much the gist of it there. We got the leveling kit installed. We did everything to like dial in the heights. We did lower the front just a little bit because there was a little Sencal there. Also on the inside, we have the new rough country floor mats, which huge shadow there, but you can already see it's catching a lot of dirt there. Also, we did the rear fender liners, which just modernized it and made it all nice and black. And then on this side, again, it's just nice and leveled and just looks really, really good. I mean, that's the perfect height, and once we do the wheels and tires, it's gonna really bring us all together. Alrighty, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap the video up right here. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, then please comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time.